We are Jessica and Yanni, and our project is 3D Flappy Bird. Now imagine you're looking up at the sky and you see a bird fly in the distance. You look around and you see a plane fly in the distance. Now sit down and wonder to yourself, why don't I have wings? Well, have no fear. Flappy Bird 3D is here. Red Bull gives you wings. Flappy Bird gives you better wings and an even better flying experience. To control the bird in 3D, you will be using gestures. First, Flappy Bird will move upwards if you flap your arms. Sorry, wings. However, if you choose not to flap, then Flappy Bird will fall slowly to the ground. To move to the left, you can tilt your arms and shoulders leftward. To move to the right, you can tilt your arms and shoulders rightward. Now let's jump straight into action. The gameplay involves two important objectives. First, collect apples to increase your score, as shown in the top right-hand corner. Second, avoid obstacles in your path to stay in the game. For the sake of this demo, the pipes are not moving, but in the game, they will be moving toward the screen and disappear once it passes the screen. To start, let's try getting the apple on the left by flapping upwards, then tilting leftward, and finally, consume the apple to increase our score by 1. After feeding, we feel tired and don't want to flap anymore. As a result, we fall downwards into the pipe and colliding with it, which leads to the game over screen. Now that was just a run through of the many possible scenarios a user might face when playing our game. Now we'll talk more about the vision behind our gameplay. But first, we would like to improve upon the original game and make it even more interactive than just finger tapping. Second, we would like to gamify exercise and promote a healthy mind and body during our quarantine. Third, we would like to make a convenient and easy to use flying simulator by allowing users to fly in our 3D Flapping Bird game. For our implementation plan, we have 3 parts. The first of which is the system diagram. For our inputs, we will be collecting data on the right and left arm movements to detect flapping motions. Additionally, we will use shoulder movements to detect tilting motions. We will be integrating the Connect system, the MS SDK for Connect, the Unity game engine, the monitor screen, and outputs in the rest of our system. The final outputs will show the user status in the game world resulting from the player's actions. Next, for our libraries, we will be using free 3D assets for Unity games that are available on the Unity Asset Store to represent the game character and obstacles in our game world. To connect our Connect systems of our computers, we will be using the MS SDK for Connect, which is a development kit that supports creating applications with gesture recognition using Connect sensors. To create 3D Flappy Bird, the game, we will be using the Unity game engine, which provides support for creating 3D games. Lastly, with regards to hardware, we will need to have a computer and a Connect sensor, both of which we have readily available. Lastly, for the evaluation portion of our project, we would like to do it in 4 phases. The first of which is the alpha phase. We plan to test the performance and usability of our project by testing it only by ourselves. As we improve with different iterations of project, we plan to conduct more testing phases and involve more participants. In the next phase, for closed beta, we plan to invite friends to test out the project to see and find bugs that we may not have found ourselves. After recording their feedback, we would like to iterate again on our project and fix said bugs before moving on to closed beta 2, where we'll ask them to test the system again and respond with their feedback once more. Once we make another iteration based on their feedback, we'd like to move into open beta, of which we'll open testing to public volunteers that are willing to try our project, and afterwards we'll taking all of their feedback regarding performance, usability, and integrate it into our project to make it even better than before. For future iterations of our game, we would like to incorporate more features such as extra lives so that the player doesn't die in one collision, and more types of obstacles that are more than just pipes. We would also like to consider new types of game modes such as calorie mode, where the player needs to flap more in order to move up the same amount of distance, and endurance mode, where the player cannot stop flapping or else they'll die as the floor is lava. For our stretch goals, we would like to add mini games that utilize more flapping gestures, such as flapping to a rhythm in a rhythm game. To summarize, the core of our game is to implement Flappy Bird in 3D. We'll be collecting arm and shoulder gesture information to control the player in the game. For our implementation, we'll be using Connect with the MS SDK for Connect and the Unity game engine. For evaluation, we will complete it in 4 phases, which are Alpha, Closed Beta 2, and Open Beta, so that we can iterate on our project multiple times and make it as polished as possible. Thank you.